Nigeria and Jamaica followed up their pledge and agreement to work together as they hold the fourth edition of the Nigeria-Bilateral Commission meeting. Senior government officials say both countries must follow their words with action and leverage on long-standing relationship. They pledge to collaborate in sectors that will improve both their economies.
This year's deliberations are centered on advancing Nigeria-Jamaica shared prosperity. That's what we want to achieve, the whole point of the exercise. And so discussions have centered on a number of key areas that we believe that cooperation between our two countries will be able to achieve that shared prosperity. We talked about the technical aid corps, of course, a facility that that was created here in Nigeria and that we use to support and assist countries in the Caribbean, in Africa, and the Pacific. Also discussions centered around petroleum and energy and how we can cooperate with one another in that field. Bilateral air services agreement, which we really want to get off the ground. We've already had a maiden charter flight going in one direction from Lagos to Montego Bay, but we're very, very keen to have more flights and to have an agreement in place, a bilateral air services agreement in place to facilitate that will help in so many different ways, people-to-people relationship, promoting cultural ties, sporting ties, and in so many other areas. Talked on education and, of course, trade as well, which is extremely important. The level of trade between our two countries at the moment is not where we would like it to be. But we really believe that as we put all these different blocks and mechanisms in place, that we'll be able to really increase the level of trade between our countries. And of course, with the Continental Free Trade Area that's been signed, making Africa the largest free trade area in the world, Jamaica also has the opportunity to leverage on the trade relations and agreements between our two countries to also access the whole African market. Tourism and culture is also another area that we can see a lot of great potential there. As I said already, Jamaica is a favored destination for Nigerians in a number of areas. Of course, in the affairs of the heart, marriages that are taking place in Jamaica, a favorite place to go for that, and different other cultural areas, and that's something we should support and promote. And we have a lot to learn also from Jamaica on tourism. It's really one of, and they've developed enormous expertise in the field of tourism, and certainly one of globally one of the top tourist destinations in the world. And as we strive to also strengthen and promote our tourism sector, can also learn a great deal from Jamaica. Double taxation that will underpin the trade relations between our two countries, and consular and migration affairs also discussed, and agriculture and bilateral investment promotion. So it really is a comprehensive field that we have looked at during this joint commission, and we're absolutely determined that this would not just be words, but we should transform and translate all this into very concrete deliverables that will again lead to a real shared prosperity between the peoples of our two countries. And it's also appropriate here to recall that in recognition of the subsisting excellent bilateral relations that the two countries share, and that led to the establishment of this joint commission, that the inaugural session, which was held in Kingston, is something that we can very much build upon. And of course, a lot of the agreements that were considered, at that first session, is something that covered all these areas that I've talked about, and that we absolutely plan to build upon. Yeah, sincerely thank you, the senior officials. You've done the real groundwork. Thank you very, very much indeed for reaching the agreements that you've had. You've worked very hard, and also the other experts from the two countries. And your discussions have cut across several functional sectors. And discussed all those today, and as I've highlighted in the list that I went through, and you deserve just the highest praise possible. We successfully also identified, the various other areas, and I'd like to just, reaffirm that the political will is there to really bring all this to fruition. And lastly, again, I really want to, and I cannot thank enough the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of Jamaica, and the High Commissioner of Jamaica to Nigeria, and indeed also our High Commissioner of Nigeria to Jamaica, because it's they have really been the motor and the dynamo pushing this whole initiative forward. And without their commitment and the energy and prioritizing this for Jamaica, we wouldn't be here today, and we wouldn't have achieved what we've achieved today. So really a huge vote of thanks to them for believing in the relationship between our two countries. And on the work they've done, we're going to build even more. But they are really the real pioneers who have really made all this possible.
I know that our teams have been working hard and assiduously to ensure that we have a solid framework on which to advance our bilateral cooperation in several areas. So please allow me to join Minister Onyema's fulsome praise which he has issued to all of the senior officials who worked so hard to get us to our signed arrangements today. Indeed, I understand that we've had very meaningful discussions in several key areas. Jamaica welcomes the commitment that has been given by you and your government, Minister Onyema, to ensuring that our partnership is indeed strengthened. For us, this extends to the critical areas of health, security, tourism, sport, trade, investment, education, and culture. We know there is mutual benefit to be derived from the exchange of personnel and the capacity building that it will engender on both sides. We have as much to learn from each other as we seek to build our economies and to advance the well-being and shared prosperity of our peoples. In addition to the enhanced people-to-people connection, I am confident that our commercial and economic ties also stand to benefit from our engagement over the past 2 days. In addition to the deliberations within the context of the various groups, I must say thank you as well for facilitating meeting with some of my Nigerian ministerial colleagues, in particular aviation and trade and investment, who also registered their interest in expanding our relations. I'm especially pleased that substantial progress was made towards concluding the negotiations on the Memorandum of Understanding for Cultural Cooperation, as well as the Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the Field of Sport. We will redouble our efforts to advance the work on the outstanding draft text in other areas, which have been helpfully outlined by Minister Onyema, to ensure their timely and effective conclusion. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the active engagement of our respective teams this week has demonstrated that the fraternal bonds between our countries have been deepened and enhanced. We now have a very solid basis on which to advance our cooperation. Although our focus has been on our bilateral engagement, we have a very vibrant and dynamic relationship that has been fortified within the many groupings in which we engage at the multilateral level, as between CARICOM and the African Union, as between the AU, and indeed within the WTO and other international organizations. Consequently, Jamaica-Nigeria relations are not only strong, they are bolstered by our common experience as a people who have overcome formidable challenges to to secure our rightful place in the global community of nations. As I close, let me therefore reiterate my deepest appreciation to you, Minister, High Commissioners Reid and Tamuno, and the rest of the teams for what has been an exceptionally engaging and successful joint commission. We've benefited from your generosity of spirit, your gracious hospitality, and the sincerity that has characterized our time in Nigeria. It was my pleasure to have been able to lead my team on this auspicious occasion to witness firsthand the warmth and beauty of Nigeria. We can certainly look forward to a new and dynamic dimension in our bilateral relationship based on the strength of the commitments made here in Abuja this week. May Nigeria, Jamaica, and our people prosper, and may the indomitable bonds that bind Nigeria and Jamaica continue to flourish.